Hey everyone, welcome back. So my game week one side is pretty much locked in. I've made about 7 or 8 changes, so I'll run through why I've made these changes and let you know. I'm going to do a bit about my chip plan and who I'm planning to use my chips on this game week because I am activating my chips. I've got a fixture ticker to let you know which fixtures I'm targeting. I think there's really easy fixtures to target. I'll run through the changes I've made, show you which chip I'm using, show you my transfer conundrums because there's two that I'm not 100% locked in on, and then I'm going to quickly go over my game week 2 plans just so you know what I'm thinking early on, because these plans will help me have a really ultimate team for game week 2 where I'm going to activate another chip. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So first of all, let's go over my chip strategy. I'm still planning to use the wildcard in game week 3 and it's locked. And with this in mind, I'm trying to attack game week 1 and 2 because I think in the round 16, the easier sides will be knocked out and the fixtures won't be as easy. So the points might not be as high. So I'm trying to get the points as high as possible before we get into the round of 16. So right now, my side's pretty much locked in and I'm thinking about using the 12th man in game week 1 and then the maximum captain in game week 2. I'll explain why and give some more details as the video goes on, but let's just jump into the fixtures. So here we have the fixtures that I'm targeting, and we've got Inter Milan and River Plate. They've both got easier fixtures in game week 1 and 2 before they face each other, and hopefully they'll get the 2 wins. And then in game week 3, when they face each other, they might rotate because they might both already be through and thinking about the round 16. And then we've got Borussia Dortmund that's playing Fluminense. This isn't an easy fixture, but the second match against Sundowns is. So it's a game where I expect them to win both games, really. But the first fixture won't be as easy. Then we've got Man City and Juventus, who are also in the same group, and they've got the 2 easier fixtures before they face each other in game week 3, where it'll be a bit tougher, and hopefully they've both progressed and they'll rotate. But these are the 2 fixtures where I think they're going to try and get as maximum points so they don't have to worry. And then the same again with Benfica and Bayern Munich. They face the 2 easier fixtures before they face each other. Boca Juniors isn't the easiest fixture, but Auckland City seems to be the one that you have to target, with them only being a semi-professional side in a Club World Cup where it's the giants of the clubs. So these are the 2 fixtures where I'm really targeting. And then we've got Chelsea that's got Los Angeles, which is an easier fixture, but Brazilian side Flamengo is a bit harder, but it's 2 fixtures which I think they should win. But yeah, these are the 8 teams that I'm targeting. So quickly before I show you all the changes that I've made in my side, this is the side that I had last game week. There's been a few changes, but I thought I'd quickly show you my side beforehand. And these are the players that have actually been dropped out my side. So Sommer, Guerrero, DiMarco, Bensabiani, Brandt, Harry Kane and Marmoush. And let's jump into what the changes are. So for in goal, I've changed Sommer for De Gregio. The reason behind this is basically the clean sheet odds. Inter Milan are expected to keep a 49% chance of keeping a clean sheet the first one, and then a 58% chance in the second game for Sommer. But Juventus are expected to keep a 60% clean sheet and then a 67% clean sheet. So there's a bigger chance of them keeping a clean sheet. So I've gone with him. And if he doesn't keep a clean sheet, there's always Armani on the bench that's got Unwai Reds and Montre. So there's a chance that he keeps a clean sheet in one of the 2 games. So it's a bit of a juggling of, out of the 2 goalkeepers, hopefully one of them keeps a clean sheet. If one of them keeps a clean sheet, he stays in the side. If he doesn't, he drops out and the other goalkeeper comes in. So let's jump into the defence. So these are the defenders that I've picked. I've changed Guerrero for Stanisic. There's a 1.1 price difference. He's probably not as attacking, but there's a very likelihood that he keeps a clean sheet. So for that reason, I've picked him. And I've decided to buy Reinson instead of Bensabiani, but that could change. I'll give you my reasons why very later on in the video. But right now, he's in my side. A good chance of a clean sheet, and Dumfries has been locked in my side and never moved since I've started it. And on my bench, I've got Carreras for Benfica. The first fixture isn't the easiest against Boca Juniors, but the second fixture is against Auckland, so I wanted him in my side ahead of the game week 2, so I don't have to make a transfer. But he'll probably be used if one of these defenders doesn't keep a clean sheet. He'll be coming in, and then there's Kelly, another double up on Juventus clean sheets because I think there's a good chance they keep a clean sheet in one of the games. So into midfield, and I've made one change, and it's Musiala coming in from Brandt. There's quite a big price difference in between them both, so I've had to make changes in defence to afford this move, and that's why the likes of Guerrero, Dimarco and Cucurella have been taken out my side just to get some more money to be able to afford Musiala. And then into attack, I've made two changes. Pavlidis is coming for Marmoush, and Haaland has come in for Harry Kane. I felt like it was stupid of me not to have Haaland for the first two games, so he's came in for Harry Kane. And I'd wanted Pavlidis for game week number 2, where he's playing Auckland City. So I'm buying him now instead of having Marmoush. And I was a bit worried with Marmoush's minutes. Maybe he could be dropped for one of the games. I'm pretty sure he'll probably play both, but he could come off with the likes of Cherky being signed. So I've gone with Pavlidis because I think he'll play both games and play the full 90 minutes. And he's more of a goal threat, I think, even though both players are very, very good at getting goals and assists this season. So my team value currently is 99.9 with 0.1 in the bank. But I want to quickly flag the scout bonus, and as you can see, if any player under 5% on gets more than 4 points, they get an extra 2 points. This isn't the main reason why I've bought players, but it has helped me decide a few decisions. So De Gregor, Stanisic, Pavlidis, Carreras and Kelly all have the potential of getting bonus points for this. We will see before deadline if these plays go over the threshold or not. I expect by the end of game week 2 deadline, Pavlidis and Carreras percentage will be way higher because they've got Auckland, so that I don't think I'll get the points in game week 2, but I'll have the plays already in my side while others use transfers. So next, let's look at my 12 man plans. And as you can see, it's Harry Kane. So I've got 4 players from Borussia Dortmund for the game against Auckland City. It's not ideal that I'm not captaining Harry Kane because he probably will be the highest points this game week. But I'm thinking going with Elise or Musiala, and then if they fail and Harry Kane outscores them, I could potentially put it onto Haaland. But I couldn't afford Haaland and Kane without making sacrifices and not even having Musiala. And I'd have to start making transfers and minusing 3 to get Pavlidis in game week 2. So for that reason, I've gone with Haaland, having Harry Kane as 12th man in game week 1, and then in game week 2, when they've got Boca Juniors, I don't have Harry Kane, and then I've got Haaland against Al Ahly, which I think is an easier fixture. Team isn't currently locked in, and here are the transfers that I potentially could do. So decision 1 is which Bayern Munich midfielder to have. Musiala is a bit of an injury doubt. He's just coming back from injury, and there's doubt that he might not start. So if that's the case, I'll be going for somebody else. Right now in second place after Musiala would be Sane. I think he's much more explosive and a much more chance of getting goals and assists. But I know he has just moved to Galatasaray, so then maybe he wouldn't start, and it might be the other two that start. In third place, it'd be Gnabry. If it's Gnabry and Coman that start, I'd probably pick Gnabry. And then Coman would probably be my fourth choice of Bayern Munich midfielders if he's the one that starts. But if the others start ahead of it, as well as him, the other ones will probably get picked. And then decision 2 is if I keep Ryanson or I change it to Benson Biani or Lewis. I'm not too upset about having Ryanson, but the fact that Benson Biani and Lewis are under 5% owned, it gives me a bit more of a 2 points that I could potentially get. And Benson Biani for me, he's got a more goal threat last season. I think he got 7 goals, while Ryanson got like 4. So there's more goal chances. I know he's not attacking as much, but there's a more chance from set pieces that he scores. So I do like Benson Biani. And then there's Lewis. I know there's probably like a 50% chance that he doesn't actually start, so that's what's putting me off it. But if I'm only having him for 2 game weeks, I can risk it because the other defenders should start as well. So I've got a squad that should start anywhere. That it could be a worth a risk of going for Lewis, seeing if they get a clean sheet, because the chances of clean sheets are probably second best in the first 2 games. So if he does start, there's probably a big chance he keeps a clean sheet in one of the games, even bigger chance than one of the Dortmund players. But it'll probably be Ryanson. But if I drop down Musiala to a Coleman, I can afford Benson Biani. So that might be the move that I make. And quickly before I finish up, I want to give you a few transfer plans for game week 2 and what I'm thinking. And here's the plans. Musiala would actually be sold, or whichever Bayern Munich player I've got when they play Boca Juniors. I know it's not the worst fixture, but I do really want to target that Auckland match, so I will be moving him to Kareem if he doesn't get injured. And then the second transfer would be Ashawa for Brant. Ashawa's got Palmeiras in game week 2, while Brant's got Sundowns. So I think there's a better fixture for both the other two players. And with that in mind, this is how my side would line up for game week 2. I will be using my maximum captain, so I don't have to worry about who gets the most points. So if it is a Bayern Munich player in Elise getting a lot of points, then great. If it's one of the Benfica players like Pavlidis, then I don't have to worry. And as you can see, I've got players on the bench like Palmer and Stanisic and Kelly. They've all got really good fixtures, so we will see who gets the most points. But yeah, Borussia Dortmund have got a really easy fixture against Sundowns for me. So there's three plays from them, 3 plays from Benfica, and I don't think many players will have that, or they'll be trying to get them and making minus points, where I'll be set for game week 2 without making any hits, and I'll be very happy with this side moving into game week 2. So there we have it from a game week 1 side. There's 13 players locked in, just the 2 players to be decided. As I've mentioned, it's the defender and the midfielder from Bayern Munich. Musiala will be the one that I really want. If he's not starting, I'm going to wait till closer to deadline and see what the predicted lineups are. And if Musiala is predicted to start, I'll definitely be picking him. If it's not, it'll be a toss-up of who's starting out the other ones. But it'll be Sane, then Gnabry, then Coman in that order, if they're all starting. But we'll see. And then in defence, it's Reinson. But if I drop Musiala down to one of the other Bayern Munich defenders, I've got a bit more money in defence, so I probably will buy Benson Biani just for the fact that he's probably under 5% owned. He's more of a goal threat for me from last season's stats, so he'll be in. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. I'll be doing plenty more content as the competition goes on. Please hit subscribe and the like button. My aim is to get 20 likes, so hopefully you've got quite a lot from this. Let me know in the comment section what you agreed with me on my side, what you think I'm getting wrong. Do you think I'm stupid for not having Harry Kane and captain him? I think the risk of having 4 Bayern Munich defenders against Auckland is better than not. And if I bought Harry Kane, I'd probably have to put Musiala in as the 12th man. And I didn't think that was the best way to do it, because the funds would mean I'm not spending an extra 2 million, which I am right now.